regardless of what name, what noun, what perspective, what reality we choose to see, regardless of what noun that we use to have a sense of connection to the environment at large, being the world, whether we believe that an infinite being created the first man and woman, microscopic particles came together, or some type of spontaneous combustion that happened that brought forth humans, whether a family of deities, whether we believe that we are not of this planet but from another planet or galaxies, or it's an ongoing cycle or process or system of constant reincarnation, whether we believe that we are those deities reincarnated, or whether we believe there are many versions of ourselves essentially just living out different aspects at different times through the time continuum. Evolution from smaller, original, more prehistoric animals. Whether we believe there's an energy source that has yet to be discovered, whether we believe we have souls or not, and we're just here and afterwards there is nothing else. But we all still believe that something miraculous happened, something that nothing can necessarily explain. Miraculous comes from the root word miracle. Miracle is something unknown as to how or why it just happens without any formal, logical, proven explanation. But for whatever the preluding, supportive state of mind, state of believing we come from, we still understand and see that we are more, something bigger than ourselves, something bigger than what we may see, something bigger than our vision can ever touch or grasp. Regardless of the root, our foundation is set, as long as we have firm steps, firm confirmations in what it is that we believe moving forward, and it's assisting in the growth, assisting in the evolution, assisting in the process of moving forward, assisting in transformations, not just for ourselves, but for the greater good of all, for a family, for the world. We may not even be thinking something that large or grand, something meaningful. Something meaningful only occurs based off of what it is that we give into it. We put that meaning into it. All originated from something grander, something bigger than ourselves that we cannot explain, that we can't possibly really fathom. We can research and perform experiments to try to grasp the complexity of life, or we can become a part of the complexities of life and truly being in the moments that life does give us. We are all different. Every single last one of us. What's right for one is not going to be right for another. As long as whatever your process is helping you become better, become greater, become grander, and then influencing you to then follow whatever it is that you're passions, your dreams are, so then you can reach them, so then you can become motivation for somebody else, and so forth, and so forth, and so forth, and so forth. Regardless whether it's because of how you were raised, or your moral upbringing, or your religious preference, occupational preference. As long as it is assisting in an ignition of light, of hope, of positivity, inspiration, wisdom, guidance, knowledge, we can't go wrong. In the beginning, there was light. Help one another reach our fullest potential. It becomes like a domino effect. Once one person shines their light, another person's going to want to shine their light. Another person's going to want to shine their light. Being able to grab hold of when it is time to be a leader, when it's time to follow, when it's time to take control, when it's time to let go, when it's time to heed advice, when it's time to ignore the criticism, and how to separate all of them and then apply them so that we can have tower moments and transform into something better, something more, something that we don't even see for ourselves until it actually happens. Like in the Bible, it says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. Yea, though I walk through my lows, even though I have my low times, even though I may not be comfortable, when I know that I'm going through a tower moment, when I know that I'm going through a change, I know that I need to move on. When I know that that's not for my highest good, when I know that I have completed this task and need to go forth with something else, when I know that something new is to come, a new beginning is here, a new adventure is for me to take and go out. When I know that it's meant for me to take a risk, when I know that it's for me to take a leap of faith, when I know that it's meant for me to step out on faith, when I know that it's meant for me to let go and let God, when I know that it's for me to chase after my dreams or aspirations, when I know it's meant for me to move forward with a plan. Even though in the shadows there are things that are unknown, past things that have passed by, things that's hard to shake, things that's hard to budge, things that's hard to jump over, move around, push, crawl under, get past. I would not fear harm. I would not fear mischief. I would not fear low vibrational energy. I would not fear demons. I would not fear tower moments. I would not fear criticism. I would not fear pride. I would not put energy into false evidence appearing real. I would not put forth the false evidence of harm appearing real. I would not put forth the false evidence of hate, of heartbreak, of anything that does not uplift me at that moment. I will not fear no evil. I would keep moving forward. We do have lessons. We do have teachers. We do, whether we see it for what it is or not. But it does come to a sense of understanding. And getting to that understanding is knowing ourselves, knowing who we truly are. By knowing who we are, we understand the greater world. We understand the greater environment. We understand the external by studying the internal. We take what we have learned about ourselves. So when we come in contact with other people, we can use discernment. We can use judgment, logic, reason, balanced emotions, past experience, and the wisdom gained from those experiences to be able to decide how to move forward in any given situation. Throughout our lives, we make choices consciously and subconsciously. Being able to make the choices that are for our highest good to better us, whether it turned out the way that our expectations had set it, or it turned out in a way that that failed to meet our expectations. Whether that's good or bad, that's our own personal mindset on how to look at that. Regardless of what title, what noun we place on the leader in our lives, or the leaders in our lives, the perspective that sets our foundation in our lives, whether through religion, whether through just living life, whether through studying ourselves and others, and the impact, whether through our personal experience and the impact that it played in our lives. Regardless of what the foundation is, we all originated from something miraculous.